Let's bring in Michael Vick. We have not talked in a while. Fox Sports NFL analyst, and we have got a lot to discuss.
Colin.
Great to see you. Well, I hope you miss me, because we certainly missed you. So I want to talk about Lamar, who you know. And I said this, money can ruin people.
Yeah.
I actually think he's better since he's been paid.
Yeah.
Why would that be?
I mean, attitude is everything. A guy like Lamar, he appreciates what he has, monetary-wise and on the field, in terms of his teammates. And so I think he takes this game really, really serious, more than people think.
Yes.
And I think he dives in. He enjoys it. He loves the success, and he loves seeing his teammates happy as well. And talking to a lot of the coaches, over the years, James Urban, T. Martin, these guys, they marvel at how much Lamar understands offenses and understands. He's been in 3 systems. And so now he's learned, it's not too much more that we can't or can't do. And now he understands the system that he's in better because he's been a part of a lot of different systems. And so it's just helping him to be able to get to the line of scrimmage, process the information, and grow as a passer. And, we looking at a Lamar Jackson who can play another 10, 12 years like this.
This is the best Lamar.
This is the best Lamar we've ever seen.
Now.
And it's only going to get better.
So I think Baltimore's a good organization, but I think it was fair to criticize their lack of receiving talent.
Yeah.
I mean, it felt like Mark Edwards and just guys.
Yeah.
They got real players now. Like when you watch him, their guys are, first of all, a guy's great. Nelson Aguilar now looks like a huge threat.
Yeah.
Nelson Aguilar bounced around. Now all of a sudden you're like, who's got Nelson Aguilar?
Right.
So he's making good receivers much better. But when I watch Baltimore, guys are wide open. Is that because of how you have to play Lamar?
I think you got to account for Mark Andrews down the middle. And the biggest threat in any offense, if you got a George Kittle, a Travis Kelce, a Dallas Goedert, these guys control what happens in the middle of the field. And then that opens up for your X and your Z and all your receivers to, follow suit in that. And so I think, for them to be able to understand what we have in this offense, run it through our tight end, and allow everybody else to flourish, it just makes Lamar's job easier. Then when you get the single safety, you get the one-on-ones, and you can get the ball outside to the guys like Aguilar and Zay Flowers and all the receivers and the talent that they have now. So they can pick and choose their spots on how to beat you, and then they got the running game that's efficient and helping open up everything else. We always talk about how the run game dictates what happened in the passing game, and Lamar's an extension of that. And the game is just easy for them now. They're having fun. Everybody's having fun. And that's usually when you have that matters. That's usually when you have your best seasons, when everybody's being a contributor and also, seeing the success behind it.
By the way, I want to talk Philadelphia. So it's interesting because A.J. Brown's a great player. Yeah. And I think they're a power football team more than a flashy team. But they have to get it to A.J. Brown. And I thought early in this year, they couldn't quite get their identity right. Now they're doing both, power football and getting it to A.J. Brown. So I thought in the last 2 weeks, Julian Edelman was on about 3 weeks ago, and he said every Belichick team we had, they all had a totally different identity, even if the players were the same.
Right.
And I sit there and I watch Philadelphia, and it's like they're a power team, and they got a little cute early. And then it's like now it's like, okay, that's what they are last night. When you watch them, what do you see?
First off, Nick Sirianni, he's a great coach. Like, if he sees any, chink in your armor, he's going to expose it. And so I think sometimes great coaches, they see so many different things when they're breaking down the film. Well, we can attack them in the run game. We can attack them deep. We can attack them mid to short. And, just the concepts that they can come up with, allows them to do so many different things. But once he pinpoint exactly what it's going to take to beat you, then they're going to beat you. And A.J. Brown, like you say, is a big part of their offense. I was watching the game last night, and when he started making those catches, especially the one he caught for the touchdown in traffic, instantly in my mind, I was like, everything has to run through A.J. Brown. I know they got a lot of talent, but when he's involved and he's active, and it opens up for everybody else. Big, strong, confident.
They're tight ends. Between A.J. and their tight ends, their receivers and pass catchers are punishing.
Yeah.
They're just, it is like being in a wrestling match every Sunday for 4 hours.
Yeah, you know how receivers fear DBs? or safeties. Safeties fear AJ all day because they know his run after catch, it speaks volume in terms of when he touched the ball. So you got to bring him down. You got to stop him first from initiating the catch, and then you got to bring him down, and that's just it's multitasking in its finest.
Okay, so my criticism of Jordan Love is I do think this matters, continuity.
Yeah.
So Lamar Jackson, Justin Herbert, new coaches, new OCs every year. It's hard. When I watch Jordan Love, I'm like, 4 years, Matt LaFleur, Aaron Jones. And now they got some.
It's been 4 years?
I think this is
I thought it
fourth
was 3.
year.
Wow, yeah.
So I don't see it. So I'm going to be harder on him than I am C.J. Stroud, who's been excellent. He's a kid. Or Anthony Richardson or Bryce Young. They're kids. They just got here. What do you see with Jordan Love that concerns you?
I think you said it first off. 4 years in the system and sitting behind Aaron Rodgers is really no excuse. I try to measure quarterbacks based on how I felt coming into my second season, being comfortable, having a great understanding of what we were trying to accomplish. And I did have a great offensive mind in Dan Reeves. So, it was a lot of I had to pay attention to detail in a lot of ways. And as I watch Jordan Love, I always pay attention to mechanics. He sets up in the pocket. He has this bounce. And you gotta be stable. You gotta have your balance. You gotta have your legs and your feet. You gotta have your feet planted in the ground when you're making some of these throws. And
He's
I know
a
he
bouncer.
I know he took some of this away from Aaron, but Aaron, he was a different talent. He can get away with that. He needs to go back to the basics of his fundamentals. A lot of these throws he making got to be made with conviction, just like you make your decisions in the pocket with conviction. Quick, fast anticipation. These throws, the ball got to come out humming, and you got to be on time and ahead when you're playing against these defenses who's scheming to beat you. So I think it all has to come together. It will at some point, but it's got to happen sooner than later for Jordan Love because as of right now, it's not adding up.
So, I was saying this, that there is we tend to watch Mahomes and even Michael Jordan. So Michael Jordan about 3 times a game would do something that nobody in the world could do.
Yeah, definitely.
But if you really went and looked at an average Michael game, he just hit 14 mid-range jumpers.
Yeah.
He was unbelievably efficient. I always think that Mahomes is Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
It's this fact that he never misses a layup. Michael never missed a freebie.
Yeah.
And about 3 times a game, switch hands, you're like, whoa. Most of Mahomes, he'll have 1 great scramble a game and 2 great throws. But I think we lose, and this is one of the things I've said about Sam Darnold and Justin Fields. I get the crazy good.
Right.
But I get way too many mistakes. And tell me, when you're as gifted, you, Mahomes, Lamar, when you're literally Josh Allen, when you're wildly gifted, is it hard to sometimes go, I'm just not going to make that throw?
Yeah.
Because Mahomes makes so few mistakes for his gifts.
Well, one, Andy don't allow a lot of mistakes.
What do you mean?
And he'll allow you to get outside of the room. You just got to make it right. If Andy designs a play to go, to McCole Hardman or to Travis,
you got to go,
and you go to Valdez-Scantling, you just have a reason why you did it. And if you got a valid reason, he allows it. He allows it to happen, and he'll give you more liberty and freedom within the offense. Patrick is so gifted, man. He's an exceptional arm talent. He has the mind capacity to process the information quickly, but the way he see the field, his vision is different. It's almost like Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady. They process the information really quickly. They see it, and then the ball is out before the defense is even able to react. Like he probably hit Kelsey on 6 straight passes yesterday in the middle of right in the teeth of the defense. When he going to Kelsey, and the play might be drawing up for him, and then he started to find all these other guys, and it's just the offense is catered to him. I said it last year, and when I seen him running practice and calling plays in practice, and Andy's just like, you got it. This period belongs to you. Take the script, figure it out, configure the defenses, what you want to see, these plays versus these coverages. And they probably doing that on a day-to-day basis. Every quarterback don't have the liberty or the coach's trust.
Right. Or as good a coach.
Or as good a coach. Play calling is everything too. Timing, when the plays come out, it all corresponds. So just this marriage with Patrick and Andy, we in good shape for a long time. Kansas City going to be really, really good. They working on the dynasty right now.
It's fun.
It's fun. It's fun to watch. We're in an amazing era.
Yeah, I mean, I got Taylor Swift. I got
entertainment at its finest. It's going down. It's going down in KC. Andy all in the mix. They having fun, man. It's the way it's supposed to be.
I know. They're really an easy team to root for.
Absolutely.
Like really good guys. Yep. Mahomes, all his commercials are funny.
Yep.
So I remember after you played Florida State and Bobby Bowden watched you play. And Bobby's like, I got to get me a Michael Vick.
Yeah.
So, and I remember it very well, is that I was a West Coast guy, and I'm watching you, and I'm like, what am I watching? He's the fastest guy in the field. He's a quarterback. Yeah. So you were a groundbreaking talent. So when I watch Caleb, and people blame Caleb, I'm like, timeout. When you are that gifted, Chris Carter, the former NFL receiver, used to have a great line. He said, if you have a great singing voice, like biblically great, he goes, you're going to sing in the car, you're going to sing in the shower,
everywhere,
you're going to sing on the parties. It's like the man upstairs wants you to use it. You can't contain it.
Right.
So when you run like you do, where you were faster than everybody on defense, or you're Caleb Williams, or you have an arm like Josh Allen or Brett Favre, I bake in, sometimes you're just going to sing in the shower.
Yeah.
So when I watch Caleb, do you see any of you and Caleb, his ability to literally be faster than their fastest players, stronger than their linebackers?
I do. It's funny because my mind with Caleb is already in the NFL. He's accomplished so much. I've seen throws that you just don't see guys make. You can watch 30 college football teams in one weekend, and you don't see what Caleb Williams is doing. And so I've been seeing that for 2 years. So in any quarterback, I'm looking for a pattern of consistently being good.
Yeah.
And I've seen that out of him enough to know that him being in the right court with the right coordinator, a Kyle Shanahan, a Andy Reid, I'm just throwing names out there. You're looking at a generational type of talent. So, I like him with the team that he's with now. I like what he's doing. He can't do it all. He can't play defense. He can only do but so much. And I think, just the time at USC right now is kind of running this course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like we ready for him to come on to us.
Well,
come on to the next level.
You can argue, and I think it's true. I'm much more fascinated now by where he goes in the NFL than the game against Oregon.
Right, yeah. My mind with Caleb, like I say, is already on the next level. I mean, I can't wait to see what team he get drafted to, the development process like we see with, maturation now with C.J. Stroud or Bryce Young and these guys who are just taking the next step, even Justin Fields.
So finally, Niners play tonight. They're a very physical team. The teams that play the Niners, there was a stat at one point, they were 1-20 the week after. Because they
beat you up.
So go back to your career. So I think they'll win tonight. But as we watch the game, watch their physicality of how they lean on you. And they like Pittsburgh did it yesterday to the Rams.
Yeah, they did it too, yeah.
By the end, the Rams were like, all right, we're in a rebuild. We're going to go home now.
That was the Philadelphia Eagles back in my day under the great Jim Johnson, who was, Andy Reid disciple, championship, Super Bowl. Those defenses that's built with a great defensive line.
Philadelphia's like that now.
Solid linebackers. Yeah, Philadelphia's like that now. You can argue that Kansas City's like that now. They come in, man, and it's a physical game, and you can feel it on Monday morning. Like, that team was different. I remember playing against the New York Giants in 2005, Strahan, Yurman, Justin Tuck. I let Strahan know every chance I get. They left me with a sore back for 4 months. and that never happened to me. I was a tough kid. Like, I get sacked 4 times. I'm bouncing up. I might be sore Monday, Tuesday, but I'm shaking back. It was no shake back after this. So some good defensive fronts and some physical teams, you're going to know the next couple of weeks exactly who you was facing.
Yeah, so San Francisco does that. Philly does that. Yeah. As I watch Philadelphia, they had their old school unis on last night. Those are the best unis in the league. They're so good. Do you miss a little bit some of that, just the city?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's different.
My wife's from Philly, so we always there. My first start for Philadelphia was in the Kelly Green uniforms versus Green Bay. And I'll never forget it. So when I every time I seen Hassan Reddick, and last night he was making plays, it was just reminding me of myself and just taking me back, even though I was just in the room, room service and just checking out the game and just chilling. Just to be able to relive those memories and what that really meant in my life to me and my family and to the Philadelphia Eagles fan base, one of the flagship organizations in the National Football League. It couldn't have happened at a better time.
By the way, would you have done the tush push? Could you have done it?
I don't think I'm not as strong as Jalen, even in my heyday. I would have loved to have been a part of that. They only pull that off because they got two of the strongest guys, center and behind
Kelsey's
the
the best center in a decade.
Yeah, and so, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.